What is the 4D and 5D level of spirituality? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salo and I help light workers and starseeds to remember who they are. And in this video, I want to talk about the 4D spirituality or the mind level spirituality and the soul level, 5D level of spirituality. And I want to bring to your awareness some of the differences between them, because likely you'll be moving through those different stages of spirituality, and as you become more aware of where you are, it will be also easier for you to see where you are going next. So first, the 4D spirituality. We usually go through some kind of awakening which takes us from the 3D to 4D. This awakening you all been through. It's some big turning point in your life. It can happen externally in most cases, or it can happen internally as well. So there is something that takes your consciousness from the 3D level and you realize, oh, there is a lot more than I had thought. And you start to kind of like flirt with spirituality. Most people first, when they get into so-called spirituality, they are interested in the law of attraction. They are interested in affirmations and they are learning how the mind really works. And in this stage, you feel like, wow, you have figured everything out. You know how the mind works. You practice law of attraction. You keep saying your affirmations, you are on the right track in your life. And still it feels like no matter that you are doing all those things, you are not genuinely happy yet. You are in much better place. Because the part of this stage is also to reconstruct your life, because likely before your awakening, you were in some situations in your life that were not reflecting who you truly are. And so there needs to be that redirection taking place. And once you have allowed that redirection to happen, you start to appear in the right place in the right time. And you are very much interested in studying. You are soaking in all the information you find online in the books. You go into that research mode and you focus really on the mind. Now, many people will also find out about the inner child and they start doing inner child healing. And please, if you have never done any inner child healing and no shadow work, I really do invite you to lay firm foundations. This is a step that can't be skipped. So if you haven't done inner child healing, or if you've done it just a little bit and you are still feel like the energy from your childhood and from your family is still somehow impacting you, not in a good way, continue doing the inner child healing and shadow work. I really highly suggest that, because those are the foundations. We can't ignore that step. And this correlates with that 4D level of spirituality. The mind level of spirituality is all about focusing on the mind, analyzing the mind, gathering information, finding different resources of information. And this is also the stage where many people will start to understand or be more aware of the light and dark. I would actually say that in that 4D spirituality, the light and dark is enhanced. You are aware of those differences and you start to create your own sense of discernment, which is one of the things that ideally, if you move through that 4D spirituality, you should take away with you. The art and skill of discernment. I have also made another video on that topic, so you'll find it linked somewhere here. And as you are moving through this level, you really become aware of what is happening on this planet. Likely you also start to be more aware of our ancient history and our true history. And you start to really see everything through the lens of light and dark. And it will feel like true awakening. I just want to mention here something that I have seen many people getting trapped in that stage. Exactly because of that. Exactly because they started giving their energy and power away too much into what actually happened on this earth. Because the thing in that 4D level of spirituality is that you don't remember your own memories of those times yet. And so you are fully and completely dependent on the information you find in the books or channeled messages. And as good as it is, lots of that information is just being repeated, and maybe not all of it is true actually. And so as you are dependent on those external sources of information, it can really pull you into that rabbit hole. You start to focus so much about, what happened here and what's the light and what's the dark. And it's essential period. Like, we all go through that period. It's because we have to learn the discernment. But there is a lot beyond this light and dark happening as well. Those are the next levels of spirituality. And so the invitation here is don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in here. Because in my opinion, every information should serve us in some good way. It should create something new in our life. And so it's up to you what you do with that information. Does it benefit your life? Does it make you a better person? And even better yet, the question is, who do you need to become to create the reality that you would like to live in? It's an invitation to start tasting your power as the creator you want to be. You can bring that law of attraction to the next level. Law of attraction is truly just like you are just tasting those waters of spirituality just a little bit. It's more like concept for the mind. It's something catchy to pull you into spirituality. When you truly understand the creation, and most of this corresponds with those other levels of spirituality, you don't have to do that law of attraction the way it has been thought on this planet. It works on magnetism and commanding your reality and embodying all of you, all of those, different dimensions and versions of you in the present moment. That's the real magic that we all have access to. It's inside of us. And so this 4D level of spirituality is, in my opinion, a phase when we really wake up. We are sorting information. We are trying to discern information. We are understanding and learning about the light and the dark and about our true history. And we are also doing, hopefully, inner child healing and shadow work, and building very firm, solid foundations for ourselves. The shortcoming here, in my opinion, is, as I had said already, you might be pulled into those lower timelines without realizing it. You might be giving your energy and power and your attention away in the wrong places that look like spiritual, but they are not. Another shortcoming could be getting stuck with the inner child healing work for decades. This inner child healing, we all have to go through it. We all need to do it. Everyone should do inner child healing. Everyone should do shadow work. 100%. But if it takes, 5 years and you are still experiencing the same issues and same triggers as in your past, then maybe try to switch it up. Try something different. Because that ego is very fancy in that way. It gets like it evolves together with you. And so when you are doing inner child healing, the ego continues looking for the problems. It continues looking for the things to fix. And it continues, filtering everything through that lens of the inner child. And then in some extremes, what it can create is the energy that you feel like being entitled, or, you start to actually project your inner child onto your relationships without realizing it, because you don't take full responsibility for yourself and for your relationships. And so an example would be feeling like, oh, this person said this and that, and it triggered these things from my childhood and so on. That's why I feel this way. And actually, this person should change, not me. When you start putting that responsibility onto other people and not taking it simultaneously for yourself, it can be one of those tricks of the ego to keep you there. I hope it's clear. Basically, in that mind level of spirituality, you are flirting with spirituality. You are experiencing spirituality through your mind. And you have to also be able to master your mind and move through all those, false doors and trapping systems and all these things that are connected to the mind as well. So also learning to move through those initiations of the mind and continue moving the energy forward. The 5D level of spirituality is different. This is what I feel is the actual spirituality just beginning. On that 5D level, you really create very strong, solid, and conscious relationship with your soul, with your higher self, with your oversoul. And you start to remember and look into different lifetimes. You start to understand your soul's journey. You are not so much interested in the inner child healing and those kind of things anymore, simply because you have healed that part of you. You have integrated that part of you. And now it's supporting you. There is nothing to fix. So with that goes in hand that you have significantly less dramas and problems in your life. Actually, there is no drama. And yes, there are still challenges. But they are different. They have different magnitude than before. They are not all consuming you because you are able to maintain that higher perspective and move through those challenges and address them as lessons and just like information without making it personal. In this 5D level of spirituality, you truly start to heal different, lifetimes and integrate all of that wisdom. You work so much with the soul, and these are the beginnings of when people are becoming aware of the possibility that they are a starseed. Many starseeds start to be connected to the Pleiadians mostly. This is like the soft, loving introduction into your starseed memory. It's just the first step though. And so in this 5D level of spirituality, you have less dramas, less conflict. You are working actively with your soul and you focus on embodying the knowledge. So in that 4D level of spirituality, you gain a lot of information, a lot of insight. In that 5D level, you focus on integrating, embodying all of it. And you are also, your life purpose by then. And chances are that you are also actively taking your part in that life purpose. You are living it. You are creating the life that supports your life purpose. And you start tapping into your own soul's memories. This gives you a completely different understanding of our history on this planet and of this universe. Because you will not get that information externally from the books, but you will get it from your own memories, which is super, super powerful. The shortcoming of this stage, in my opinion, is if people focus only on that soul level and want to be only in that light, because then they are not integrating the mind and the body. It all needs to be aligned. So that integration of the mind and integrating the soul's energy with the mind and with the physical body is important. It needs to continue. And then, of course, we have, 6D level of spirituality. This is where you experience a profound third eye awakening. And I know that many of you can see visions and, remember your dreams, and you can see the future. You see the energies in the room around you. I know that many of you have those gifts. But this third eye awakening is something different. It's a different level of seeing. And your third eye can do a lot more than you would think. It can go beyond those things that I have mentioned. And this is one of the kind of first sign of you shifting into that 6D level of spirituality. There it goes really beyond that light and dark. If the 4D for simplicity, where simplicity would be described as like understanding the dark, the 5D understanding the light, the 6D goes beyond that. It unifies those and creates a third way. In here, you really are full on in remembering your own multidimensional self, remembering all those details. You feel and work with all of those versions of you in all those dimensions. And you are remembering and accessing all of your, starseed memories and memories from anywhere. You go beyond that time. Because in 6D is the first moment when we really step into that eternity, beyond the time. And so in that 6D level, you are like your vision, really, the third eye fully opens. You see, you become a seer, powerful seer. And then, of course, we have the 7D level of spirituality, which I'm not planning to go into in this video, but basically you are able to track your soul's history, everything back to source, and maybe even remember yourself in different universes prior to coming to this universe. But that would be a different topic. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have some questions about that 4D level, 5D level of spirituality, let me know, please, in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe, and see you next time. Thank you.